Do it. We're recording.
Hello, our fans.
Hello, friends.
Mostly friends. So excited to bring this little pre-recorded Zoom to you. Catherine, my email has just been full to the brim.
Yeah, of good stories.
Oh, yes. Everyone's just wanting, us to tell their stories.
I know. Well, because all of a sudden they're like, I don't have anything else to do. Let's reflect on my life. Oh, yeah. Remember that ghost I saw when I was a kid? That's right.
Exactly. And, maybe they made it up.
I don't care.
I
don't care. Make it up. That's fine. Can I just tell you this? So, I'm a social butterfly. I like to be around my people. This has been kind of hard for me. But I just came back from doing one of those birthday parades, drive-bys.
Oh, yeah.
So one of my former students was turning 14 today.
Aww.
So I know. So her mom texted me and said, hey, we're having this drive-by. We would love to have you as part of the parade. And it was so amazing. I took a picture. There were cars lined up as far as you could see down this country road for this child. People had posters. They had their dogs with them. It was amazing. And so we, at 7:00, started the parade, and we're driving by, and we're blaring music and honking our horns. And then, you go and, waving, happy birthday! And it was so cute. And she was just sitting there. They had, sitting in this, fancy chair at the end of the driveway. It was adorable. Aww. And then you get up to the top of the road, and it's, a dead end, so everybody turns around and comes back the other way. And so as you're coming back, you, pass all the people that were behind you that you didn't know who were there. And I was kind of at the front of the line, so I didn't know who was there. And, I saw just, former students, their families, and just, friends of mine, mutual friends of ours. And, you should have seen the looks on our faces when we would see each other. We were it was I started crying. It was stupid. But I was just these are the people, my people. I miss my people. And everybody was feeling the same thing. We were just so excited to see each other.
People that you know and love. No, I went out to all the birthday people. I mean, your birthday, we're supposed to have that huge prom.
No.
Had my dress ready and everything. And then
but you know what?
Oh.
I will tell you, I had this amazing party planned. The party will go on. It's fine. But my birthday this year ended up being one of my favorite birthdays that I've ever had, because I think people went out of their way, including you, to send me extra messages of love and to deliver special desserts to me through their car window. But I mean, it was just people went out of their way to show, I got Facebook messages, but I had so many people just go out of their way and send me a text message or call me or FaceTime me that wouldn't have done that otherwise.
Sure.
And then we had game night with our friends that night. And of course, Scott and I put on our formal wear and had dinner together. And it truly ended up being one of my most memorable and favorite birthdays that I've ever
My favorite part was probably all the wigs I kept changing into. Including wigs.
It was a good party.
So you had your birthday and Scott had his birthday, and then Chelsea, my other wonderful BFF, she had her birthday, and she was kind of feeling down just because we're both teaching right now and things are really hard for teachers too. And she was just she texted me I'm just really jealous because we get to celebrate your birthday with live band karaoke and going bar to bar and just singing with our friends and so I know she's like you. She loves that social. She needs to have that interaction and so I said, Rick, we got to plan something. So we didn't tell her we were on our way to her house, but we were driving. I was FaceTiming her, but I was kind of down in the car, so it was just my face. And so
you were driving.
FaceTime. I was singing happy birthday to her, and she's like, "Ah," and I'm like, "Oh, we miss you. We love you." And then I turned the camera, and Rick's there. She's like, "Are you driving?" I'm like, "You need to come outside." And so when she walked out, we had a bag, and it had cheesecakes, and it had. I told her to bring her boyfriend out, and we all took Jameson shots, pickle shots.
Oh, yes.
We packaged it. We're like, So she was crying. It was just
See,
like,
that's the thing. Like,
just
yeah.
trying to make it extra special for those. Like,
Yeah. Well, and she was one of those people that on my birthday sent me like the sweetest text message. And so I made a mental note, like for her birthday to do the same, And so it just, I don't know. I mean, like, it sounds like it sucks to have your birthday at this point, but it kind of doesn't because people are going at the extra mile these days, which is really nice. And when we get out of this shit and I can like open my home to people again, we are having that birthday party as soon as humanly possible because people are ready to party.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm going to capitalize on that.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
That's going to be amazing. Yeah. People that were like maybes on the RSVP.
You know what? I'm just right now, if they don't show, you need to unfriend them.
Oh, they're out. They're out.
They're done.
Because you know what? You have nothing else planned. Like if like we get out of quarantine and then like a week later I have my birthday party, I promise you had nothing planned. So don't come at me with, oh, I'm sorry, I already had something on my schedule. No, you didn't. Nobody did. Yeah. So it's going to be epic.
Okay. Let's get to it because people are like, what are they babbling about? We thought we were doing the ghost stories. And
I thought I was going to hear about haunted dead things. Okay.
Who's going first?
Do you have one handy?
I do.
Okay. Well, then you can go first.
It's from. This one's from our dear friend David.
David, did he write a novel? Because he's really good about that.
Oh my God, he did. Like, I'm like, are you not going to be a principal anymore? You're going to be a writer?
Yeah. He's very into the prose.
It's Kurt. All right.
I can't wait to hear about it.
All right, David.
This one's for you.
This one's for you. Here we go. Mm-hmm. One December, shortly after Christmas, I decided to take my wife. Wait.
The crazy one?
I thought he's divorced.
Very divorced. Okay, so this was pre-crazy, or maybe like during crazy, but pre-divorce.
Like trying to let's make the marriage work.
Let's make it work. Let's go to counseling and Bible study.
Let's take our children to the Manger Hotel.
Okay, got it. Married crazy.
Two sweet children who are sweet. I met them before. To the Manger Hotel. Have you been there before?
The Manger? I've been drinking there before. I've not stayed there before.
Was that with me?
Probably. Yes. I think it was on our ghost tour.
The ghost tour, our very first ghost tour, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we had a drink there before or after, one of those two.
We had a little drink.
Yes, before. Yeah.
We obviously needed that because it was the worst ghost tour of my life.
Right. But I do know a lot of the ghost stories from there, and I would take every year that I would take the fourth graders to the Alamo. The Manger is like right across the street from the Alamo, right? And so I would take my favorite kids, and as we got off the bus to walk to the Alamo, I would gather my favorite kids that I knew were cool, and I would stand them in front of the Manger, and I would tell them all the ghost stories that I knew about the Manger, and then we would go to the Alamo. But I didn't tell all the kids, just the cool kids.
I can't do that with my kindergartners.
No.
Try and I get fired. Okay.
Okay, it's Christmas and he's at the Manger with his family.
And he's grabbing his drink at the hotel bar. Teddy Roosevelt once recruited his rough. I'm just skipping that. No one cares about the history, David.
The Rough Riders.
No one cares about that. All right, here we go.
Somebody might care, but they can do their own research.
If you want this, I can send these excerpts to you. Okay. We returned home exhausted. Again, we just got back to the hotel.
Why are we?
I don't know what he's doing. I really don't know. Let me listen to this line. I had heard many tales of the tragic events and hauntings that occurred in the hotel, not to mention the ground stood on what was once part of the bloody Alamo siege.
Dun, dun, dun.
The room grew quiet and my senses grew more keen.
At least he's giving us content. Because some people just send us letters and they're like, I saw a ghost once in my bathroom.
Okay. A for effort.
At least he's giving us.
I might just ad-lib a little bit here. He's going to sleep. He drifted, but I'm saying he's going to sleep.
Okay.
He hears scratching noises coming from the next door. I guess that next room next to him. and it sounds like a dog scratching. And he's like, I guess he's trying to get his owner's attention. We should make this new dance. I'm gonna do that at your prom party.
Okay.
Okay. And he was like, oh, what's going on? Like, surely, like, the owner is going to get in trouble for substantial room damage. You know, what's going on? So I decided.
So this is the room next to him that he's hearing it?
Yes.
Okay.
And so he called the clerk.
In the middle of the night?
Yes. This is after midnight.
Okay.
And
okay. Well, that's not normal.
No. He's like.
Well, I can see where there would be some concern.
I mean, it's probably like, I can imagine the clerk right now. David's like, hi, what are you wearing? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm having a problem with my room. Okay. So the clerk thanks him and says he'll take care of it. And so he said, see you later. Stopped. And then he woke up at 5:30 in the morning, and again, the scratching returned. And he's like, this is weird. Like, it's back again? Like, what's happening? I had a full day planned ahead with my family. So we checked out.
We were going to start with the continental buffet.
And so anyway, I went downstairs and I said, hey, you know, that scratching started again. And I told him the room number, and the clerk looked at his computer and paused.
Wait for it.
Yes. And he said, sir, that room hasn't been serviced in 2 weeks.
What? Well, that's probably why the dog is trying to scratch its way out, because it hasn't been serviced in 2 weeks.
Neither was David. Okay, sorry. Okay, so.
Well, you know. Okay, so basically there was something trying to scratch its way out of a hotel room. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wakes me up in the middle of the night, I'm not into that.
Like, what a rude ghost.
Right. Like, let me get my beauty rest.
I'm trying to sleep, dude.
You stayed at the Manger before your marathon.
Last March.
Yeah. Did anything happen to you?
No, I mean, and I was ready for it. Like, you know, hello, the Alamo.
Yeah.
And our room actually faced like behind the Alamo, which is like a graveyard. Rick woke up at 2 a.m. to look out there, but I was dead asleep because the night before my half marathon, I had 2 martinis, a shot, and an IPA.
And you still got your best time ever on your run. That's my girl. That's my lady. I love it.
Anyway,
good job.
You know, I think both of us we like a good challenge. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
No, I thought I heard the door creaking, but it's probably sleeping.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But some other stories of the Manger are, of course, the maid, Sally, that's been seen in the hallway frequently.
Yes.
Like one of the original maids, right?
Yes.
And then, of course, if you stay in the King Ranch suite, that is where
they serve
the king of the ranch died himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. King. Mr. King.
Serve him for a couple days. And
right.
3, they checked in and they found him dead on his bed.
And it's like the same bed.
Yeah.
Not the same mattress, I would hope, but like you sleep in the bed of a dude that died. I don't want to do that. No. I don't want to do that. And I guess, what do people see in that room? They just see him? Like, does he do anything specific? I don't remember.
I think they just see him pacing. He looks out the window. But they said that he was like an alcoholic and like he drank himself. Like, kind of like he was the Nicolas Cage. What was that movie? Leaving Las Vegas. That was his version of that in the Manger.
Got it. Okay.
He was leaving San Antonio.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, well, I'll keep with the theme of a hotel room.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta find it in here. My mom sent me one.
Mother.
I know. And this is, again, the woman who tells me she does not believe in ghosts and yet sent me 2 ghost stories that she has experienced. But whatever. Okay. So this is mi madre, Graciela. In 2001, Dad and I visited York, England for a couple of nights. We stayed at the Judge's Lodging, a home built in the 1730s and later a lodging for judges holding court 4 times a year for serious crimes. It is reported that when the foundation was being laid, the workers carried out wheelbarrows of bones. We didn't know that when we booked it. And as much of York, the building is built partially on Roman ruins. Sounds like a fun historic place to stay, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty much all of Europe at this point. It's all Roman ruins. I remember when we were in Greece, like everywhere you drove, they were like, and if you look out to the right, you'll see some Roman ruins. And if you look out to the left, you'll see some Roman ruins. And it was just like they were everywhere. And like every time they tried to build a building, they couldn't build them because there were ruins under every building. So, anyways.
Kind of ruins everything.
Okay. The room was configured in such a way that the bed was set back a little from a seating area and the bathroom shared a wall with the bed area. Are you picturing this? I was reading in the little sitting area and could hear Dad moving about and running water in the sink. Never thought anything of it and continued to read. All of a sudden, he came around from the bed area to ask me something. So from the opposite side of where the bathroom is. So she thinks he's over here in the bathroom or she hears the water running, and then he walks around this way. I made mention of hearing him moving about in the bathroom, and he said he had never been in there. Yikes!
Oh no, you're frozen. Unfreeze yourself, Catherine. Let it go, let it go. Unfreeze yourself right now. You're still frozen. Oh no. Woo, we're back. What happened? It must have been a ghost.
It's too many people on Zoom right now trying to connect with each other. That's what it is.
All right,
Okay.
so yikes!
Yikes! My dad came in from the other side of the room. Okay. I know what I heard and where it came from. This is my, God, you froze again.
No.
It says my internet connection is unstable.
Yours?
I hope you're enjoying that drink, though, that I see you drinking.
I was.
Oh, good. You're still there?
Yeah.
You could still hear me?
My water.
Oh, you were frozen, but you could still hear me?
I'm not.
Okay, I'm going to try to get through this story. It better not fucking freeze. Stop. I can see you breathing. Okay. This is my favorite. With trepidation.
That's a big one.
I'm telling you, when we played Boggle and all kinds of word games when I was a kid, and my mom won every time because she's a word guru.
Oh, I need to play Words with Friends with her.
And you will beat her at Words with Friends. I always beat her at Words with Friends. But yeah, okay, anyways.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. With trepidation, we opened the door and looked in, but there was nothing there. I know what I heard, and it definitely was not coming from an adjoining room. Much like my mother in the previous story, if you remember that from our drunken night, when my grandma had the ladies like, get out of my bed! Right?
Yes, I remember that.
My eyes were open most of the night. The next day, we did a ghost tour. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And the last stop was Judge's Lodging. It seems there were multiple stories of ghostly happenings, including unexplained happenings and noises in the history of the building. As I remember it, one theory was that it was the ghosts of prisoners who had been sentenced to death by the residing judges. I got goosebumps and told Dad I know I was really sure of what I had heard, but we were booked for one more night, so we gutted it up and spent our last night there with no unexplained occurrences. Not to be scared off, when we visited Karen, my sister, in the UK, we all went to York and we booked at the same hotel. Glutton for punishment, or just plain curious. We didn't tell Karen about our previous experience, but this time we were booked into a new edition that didn't have the same history, and it was very uneventful. Told her the fact afterwards, and she was very glad we had waited to tell her. There you go. Love the person who doesn't believe in ghosts.
I love it.
I know, it cracks me up. I don't believe in ghosts, but here's two stories.
I have some stories for you.
Yes. I love it. And then I feel bad for people that like desperately want to see a ghost. Like they desperately want that story and they just have never had one.
I think those are the people that stay in the meter in the king room.
Probably.
In the
yeah. And they're like, oh, did you hear it? Did you hear it? Did you hear that? I bet it was a ghost. Did you hear it? And it was like somebody brushing their teeth.
No.
2 minutes.
Goodness. Well, I do have a story from my neighbor. Pancho.
Oh, yeah. I haven't heard this one.
Pancho.
Yeah, you had it. I totally want to hear it.
I love him.
I'm dying to hear this.
He plays guitar. He teaches.
Tell me a tale.
He's awesome. All right. I need my glasses.
My glasses. And you're like 24 font paper.
No, it's just little tiny print.
Oh, you've upgraded. You got some stronger glasses?
No.
You gotta like zoom in on that thing.
You're alone now. Do you remember that? Tiffany?
Doesn't seem to be anyone around. We're alone now.
Okay, here you go. Pancho.
Lay it on me. I want to hear it.
When I was a kid, my family moved into a home in Princeton, New Jersey.
New Jersey. Jersey.
To make a long story short, I had a recurring dream that a lady was sitting next to me in my bed, rubbing my head gently. I'm sorry, I read that wrong the first time. Okay.
Rubbing this head?
Yes.
This head?
This one.
Okay, the upper one.
That's a different ghost story channel.
That's the 90s.
I dreamed the lady was walking back and forth in the hallway outside my room. That was at the end of summer, beginning of the school year. And at Halloween, my mom used to go out all with the scary decorations, and then here inserts, I know someone else who likes to do this. We're the scary house in our neighborhood.
Yeah, you are. You're pretty epic about it.
I love to make the kids cry.
I love it.
They're like,
it's not Halloween until your kids cry.
Yeah, I do. A neighbor politely knocked on the door one day to tell her some of the other people were freaked out because of decorations. Oh, the previous owner had hung herself 6 months before in the attic. Okay.
Wait, what? Sorry, I got a text and I kind of stopped listening. Can you go back?
Such a great friend. A neighbor,
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have
A
ADD.
neighbor politely knocked on the door one day to tell her some of the other people were freaked out about our decorations because the previous owner had hung herself just 6 months prior in the attic of her home.
Don't they have to disclose that when you're buying the house?
Actually, I heard that it depends state by state. They don't have to all the time.
Oh.
Yeah. So listen to this. Having found a box of pictures in the attic that belonged to a previous owner, I saw a picture of a woman, the same woman in my dream.
No. Oh my God, I just got full body chills.
So he says apparently she had a miscarriage and she went into very deep depression and hung herself.
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
I can't follow that. I don't have anything that good. Oh, I can't even. I don't know what to say after that. Okay, it was great seeing you. Have a great night. Bye. Goodbye and good luck. I really I don't have mine are so lame compared to that. That's like so good.
Well, again, as I said, we have a whole bunch to read from.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll share a basic one, maybe to take some of the scare factor away. Like if we just scared everyone too much,
like something lighthearted.
I'll give you a little easier one.
Okay.
That might not be. It's a little easier to ingest. Okay. Here we go. This was emailed to us. Back in high school, I was at my friend Martin's house hanging out. There were 3 of us just chilling out, playing video games while Martin's parents were out of town. At about 3 in the morning, we were in the middle of a game and we heard the front door open and close. Martin got up to see who had come into the house because we definitely weren't expecting anyone, especially at that hour. As he walked back into the living room, the 2 of us on the couch glanced over to inquire what was going on. Martin didn't say anything, just nonchalantly walked past us like nothing had happened. However, there was an old woman following him. Just as he turned to go into the kitchen, she disappeared into thin air. The 2 of us that witnessed this, of course, gave an expletive cry of surprise. We told Martin what we had just seen, and his reply was, "Oh, that's just Grandma." So I guess they just saw Grandma all the time, and we're like,
Wow.
"What's up, Gmo? How you doing, Gmo?"
Like, one of my grandmas would make a tortilla.
Yeah. Abuela, mi abuela.
The other, I don't know. I have my grandma Julia, who only spoke Spanish, and then my grandma Bertha. And this is not a good story, but I think it's worth telling because I think it'll bring everything back up again.
Okay.
So my grandmother, both of them had a lot of kids, but she had 14. And by the time my youngest uncle was born, and my mom actually, she like.
Did you do that Facebook thing that was going around, or it was like you had to put the hearts for?
Yes.
Jesus. It was like red hearts and blue hearts for the boys and girls that your grandma and your mom and you.
And I felt like my grandmothers were whores because
and you were just like,
in like 15 and like I was going like, wait a second. I even wrote on Miss Walters, Marcy's thing, because like these people are my mom's mom, 2 kids. My dad's mom, 1 kid. I'm like, they didn't have birth control back then. The moms were like, done.
And no more. Sex is
go away. And my grandma was like, yes, okay. But I didn't get it. But anyway,
my grandma would have been 2. My mom would have been 2, and I would have been nothing. So it would have been like so boring. I didn't even bother playing.
But anyway, so this is
14.
My grandma Bertha, yes. And so my mom, I think the last 2 or 3 kids, when my mom was one of the oldest children, she actually like helped her own mother like labor through those children. Like,
sure, yeah.
You know? So anyway,
yeah.
But the last one, he was wild. He passed away last year. I miss it.
I thought you were going to say he was white.
He was. That's a whole other story.
Oops.
But anyway, my Uncle Ronnie, loved him as F, bless his heart. But he, liked to smoke a little ganja.
Well, I'm not here to judge.
But anyway, apparently my grandmother, she didn't like alcohol in the house, and so she would like throw away alcohol, and she would search his room, and apparently she found a whole bunch of marijuana leaves that he had been growing, and she decided the best way to get rid of them was to burn them. The gas stove. And my mom came to check on her mom, and my grandmother was like, he wanted you to eat foods. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, it smelled like weed, like from a block away.
Grandma is high AF. I love it. Oh, that's
I could do a whole story.
Good.
Family. Especially my
we could do a whole show on that.
I could. I really could.
I could not. I don't have that.
No.
I mean, I could, but it wouldn't go very long.
Yeah.
I do have one great aunt,
okay,
that we call Aunt Stinky, that I have never met in my life. So my grandfather, my mom's dad, had, I think there was like 6 or 7, I've lost count, siblings. Okay. And my grandfather was the oldest one. And then they had one of his sisters. I don't even remember her real name because I've just been told my entire life that her name was Aunt Stinky because she's such a bitch. Like, she's a horrible human being. She's stinky. She's just a stinky bitch. Yeah. And so like my sister and I have never been allowed to meet her. Yeah. She's still alive. She's like 98 or something like that. She's old and
like her.
And like her, like they all still live in this same tiny town in Massachusetts where there's like a population of 15.
That is awesome.
And they all still live there. And like, I still have never met this woman. But she's just like apparently this most horrible human being.
This is the time to make contact.
Do what?
This is the time to make contact.
No, I don't want anything to do with her. One of my aunts, the oldest one, the one that's still alive, she just turned 99 and she still talks to her, but she hates her. She's like, she's awful. She's trying to like steal from me.
Bipolar or something.
Well, apparently the story goes that when her mom, my great-grandmother, was dying, that she basically turned my great-grandmother against all the other siblings. And so she was the sole like inheritor of everything. And my grandfather and his other siblings got nothing. And like, she totally turned my great-grandmother against her own children. And so she's apparently some like horrible person. I don't know.
Well, no, we don't have.
Sounds like a real peach. We
don't have inheritances. It's like, let's fight over like the rolling pin. No. The little comal and stuff, like, you know. Anyway.
All right. What else you got?
That's a good like closure. I think the next time we meet, we should maybe do some local stuff, like maybe some schools we worked at.
Yes, because I do have some good school ones. We both have good school ones.
We do. So if you have some great school haunts, or actually, is there anything? Please share.
Anything. Hotels, schools, your house. We'll like do themes, right? Like a hotel one, and maybe a home one, and a school one, and a work one, and we'll just do whatever. Or it's just a good story. We'll just tell a good story.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, all you cool cats and kittens, we love you.
Thanks for watching us.
Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
And good luck.